Hey horror fans, welcome back to another episode of Terror Talk where I discuss creepy clips online. The original horror music that you hear in these videos is composed by me. I am also a huge horror movie fan, so if you'd like my top 5 horror movie recommendations and frequent horror movie reviews sent straight to your email, check the pinned comment below after watching. I also have another free gift that will inspire that creepy side of your imagination. Now let's get into it and have some fun.
I've always enjoyed late night walks. There's something about the stillness that makes everything feel simpler. I'm a welder by trade, been doing it for over 40 years now. I live alone on a big farm, just me and my dog Bosley. The house is too large for one person, but I never had the heart to downsize after my wife Maria passed away. My kids moved out years ago, and ever since cancer took her, it's just been me and Bosley. One night, after a long day in the shop, I decided to go for a walk. My property is pretty big.
Do you ever go for evening walks or just walks in general? Let me know in the comments below. I don't usually, and I probably should more often because walking is good for you. But yeah, let me know in the comments below if you like to take walks.
So just a single loop is usually enough to satisfy my craving. The air was cool, and Bosley trotted along beside me. Sometimes I think he likes me more than I like him. I've walked that loop hundreds of times, but as I was heading back toward the house, something caught my eye. I glanced up at the second-story window, the one that looks out from the bedroom Maria and I used to share. For a split second, I thought I saw something move. I stopped dead in my tracks, staring up at that window. There was no reason anyone should be in there. I hadn't been in that room in years, couldn't bring myself to. I felt my blood start to boil at the thought of some stranger breaking into my house. I wasn't going to stand for that.
Yeah, that would be pretty unsettling, wouldn't it? Just seeing someone like that up in the room. Although, maybe this is paranormal. You never know. Let's find out.
Rushed inside, my heart racing, and ran upstairs. The room was empty, just like I'd left it. No sign of anything out of place. I looked everywhere imaginable, but found nothing. Yes, I was pretty freaked out, but I was more angry than anything. I didn't take this kind of thing lightly. I figured I had just seen something that wasn't there. I stood there for a while, feeling foolish, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something had been there. The next night, I woke up to Bosley growling. He's a good dog, never barks unless there's something to bark at. I sat up in my bed, listening. That's when I heard creaking coming from upstairs. It could have just been the sounds of my old house, but my mind went directly to footsteps, which were coming from right above me. I'm sure you could guess which room is directly above mine. I debated grabbing my hunting rifle from downstairs, but didn't want to go that far. If it came down to it, I was fully confident that I could take whatever was up there hand to hand. I grabbed my flashlight and went to check. Again, nothing. The room was exactly the same, untouched. My anger was definitely starting to turn into anxiety at this point. Something didn't feel right in the house. The following night, I came downstairs to find the kitchen lights on. I know I turned them off before bed. I don't leave lights on. There was no question anymore. Someone was in my house. I started to panic. I called the police and told them I thought someone might be sneaking around.
Again, because he had lost his wife, do you think that his wife is visiting him? Do you believe in that kind of stuff, that people can visit their loved ones after they die? I definitely believe that. In fact, I have a friend who claims that she gets visits from her dad, who passed away about a year ago. Pretty crazy, right? Like, he'll do stuff like change the TV to his favorite band or something like that. And I just think that's the craziest cool thing. Honestly, because, yeah, I definitely believe in an afterlife, but this could definitely be a normal break-in, but we just have to wait to see what happens.
They came out, searched the house from top to bottom, but found nothing. They were nice about it, told me to call again if I needed them, but I could tell they didn't believe me. The next night was the worst by far. I couldn't sleep, so I decided to go upstairs and check the bedroom again. I don't know why, Maybe I thought it would settle my mind. But when I opened the door, I froze. There were clothes scattered all over the floor. Maria's clothes. I had packed them away after she died. Now they were everywhere. Something like this doesn't just happen randomly. And then I saw her. There was a woman standing in the doorway, just staring at me. I couldn't see her face clearly, but I could tell she wasn't Maria. She was too short. I don't know who she was, but she didn't belong there. I had never been so afraid in my life. Without thinking, I ran at her. She turned and bolted down the stairs and out the front door. By the time I got outside, she was gone. I searched the property with Bosley, but there was no trace of her. I didn't sleep that night. For months after that, I couldn't sleep. I was constantly on edge, convinced I heard footsteps upstairs at night. Every little noise set me off. I slept with my rifle next to my bed, terrified that I'd have to use it one night. Every little noise set me off. I debated calling my brother to come stay with me, but I wasn't going to do that. I was raised to always handle my own shit, so that's what I did. The nightmare didn't end, though. One night, I was sitting in the living room when I noticed a figure standing in the yard, looking straight at me through the window. It was her again. My heart felt like it stopped. I grabbed my hunting rifle and ran outside, Bosley close behind. She was still there, just a silhouette in the moonlight, watching me. I fired a few warning shots into the air, hoping to scare her off. That was enough to get her to turn and run into the darkness. It's not like that made me feel any better. I was literally being tormented by some random woman who was probably homeless.
Yeah, so I guess that answers the question. It wasn't his dead wife visiting him. But it is still definitely a interesting thought, isn't it? So now we have this stranger, probably mentally ill, homeless, that's terrorizing him, which in a way makes it way far creepier in my opinion. Because someone who is dead and their spirit is visiting you, I don't think that's creepy. I think that's really cool. Let me know in the comments if you've ever had an experience like that.
I couldn't even imagine why this was happening to me. I stood there for a long time, waiting to see if she'd come back. She never did. I haven't seen her since, but I know it's only a matter of time. I'm fully prepared to defend myself, but I don't think living in perpetual anxiety like this is sustainable. Thank God for Bosley. I have no idea what I'd do without him. I'll send an update if anything happens.
Yeah, that's another thing about having a dog, is that they're really protective and they can sense things that are there and that aren't there. And I don't have a dog, I just feel like it would be a lot of work and money right now, but I love dogs, I think they're great. But yeah, I mean, this is definitely a creepy story, like, dang, being tormented by someone like that would just be awful, wouldn't it? I think it would be. And especially out in the middle of nowhere like that, on a farmland kind of thing, where you don't have easy access to people that can help you, including the police. Like, I don't know. I just think that being in this type of situation would be very creepy. But I thought this was definitely a creepy story, and I hope you enjoyed my commentary and the music. And be sure to check the pinned comment, because I have my top 5 horror movie recommendations for you, as well as a free horror themed coloring page. So if that all sounds good to you, go and check that out. But I will see you in the next video.